Have you been thinking about cleaning out your closet, reorganizing your closet, and you've decided you really want to keep a lot of the stuff you've already got, but your closet is cramped and stuffed and it's not working for you? If so, this video is for you, because this video is all about the simple things I use to get the most out of any size closet. So the tips I have for you today are going to work in the tiniest of closets or in larger closets. Let's get to it. Hi y'all, I'm Lori. Welcome back to my closet. Now the very first thing I have for you is just this little plastic piece. And you can get them in all different colors and sizes. Everything I'm going to talk about in the video will be linked down in the description box and also pinned in the first comment. If you're interested in checking out any of these things, I will link the exact products that I use, but know that these come in a bunch of different styles and iterations. This is just the one that I have. And I use these a little differently than what you might see in most closets. I use these in two different ways. The first way I use these little hanger hooks, and that's what I'm going to call them because I don't know what they're called other than little hanger hooks, is to hang my pants. In my closet space, this is where I hang most of my pants. And so you can see it's not full length, it's a half length space. That means I have to make my pants half length. Of course, the simplest way to do this would be to hang them on a regular hanger, just fold it over the hanger, right? That works great for a lot of different types of pants. But some of my pants are just more delicate, like they're made out of a finer material. For instance, these wide leg pants would have a huge crease if I hung them over a hanger. Plus, they're wider in a hanger, so they'd also be wrinkled. So what I do is I take a pant hanger, just like this, and I hang them from the waist like I normally would. And then I take my little clip and I drop it on the floor. And then I just take my little clip and hook it over the hanger. Next, I attach another pant hanger to the bottom of the pant legs and I just hook them. That's it. Now my full-length pants that are in more delicate fabrics that would get a hard crease line if they were folded over a hanger can be hung in a half-size space with ease. And that works perfectly for the space I have available to me to hang my pants in. But that's not the only way I use these little hanger clips. I also use the hanger clips in hanging my tops. And that's because this is the entire space I have dedicated in my closet to hanging my tops. And you can see I've got a lot of tops in there, but these are the ones I want to keep. I don't want to get rid of any of these, and they don't all fit very well. What I've done is use these hanger clips to extend my hanger space. Let me show you more what I mean. So here I have two white t-shirts. One has a little makeup graphic on it because I love makeup, and the other one's just a plain white t-shirt. So in a lot of different outfits, these would be completely interchangeable. What I do is I hang them and I stack. And that just allows me to hang two garments from one hanger space on the closet rod. Now, if you have a full-length hanging space and you want to hang a lot of tops, you could keep duplicating this over and over and over, right? You could hang as many as you had space to hang vertically. And so that would also be a great option. For me, this works really, really well. Anytime I have tops that are kind of interchangeable, for instance, this white cotton short sleeve button-up top and this white linen short sleeve button-up top are almost interchangeable in most outfits. I stack them together and hang them up. And so that's two ways that those little hanger clips give me so much more room in my closet. And these little clips will give you a ton more hanging space in your closet, regardless of its size, regardless if it's huge or if it's a tiny closet. These little clips will give you much more usable space within that closet. The next item that I use in my closet to make the best use out of the space I have and get as much in it as I can, but still keep it organized so I can see what I've got, use everything I have, and have access to everything I have, is these little shoe stackers. These for me have been such a wonderful, wonderful addition to my closet, and let me show you why. This is the space that I have dedicated to my shoe storage in my closet. I know I've got a great amount of space, but I love shoes. I love shoes. So I wanted to make the best use of the space I could possibly make. You can see these little stackers allow you to stock one shoe on top of the other, meaning each pair of shoes only takes up the space of one shoe in your storage space. And that has allowed me to really expand the number of shoes that I can keep in my closet in a very organized way that works for me. In most circumstances, in most closets, these little shoe stackers actually double the amount of shoes you can keep in your closet in a really organized, clean, usable way. What's better than that? Anytime I can get double the shoes, I'm going to be twice as happy. Now, the next tip I have for you to really expand the capacity of your closet space is to choose your hangers wisely. And this is where I could probably do a bit better job in my own closet. I've got 4 different types of hangers that I've tried out over the years. This first is a very wide padded hanger. And I do use these for some things that are just too delicate to go on a wooden hanger. That is the basic normal hanger in my closet. This is what I hang almost everything on. In some circumstances, the wooden hanger doesn't work. The padded hanger works better. But I really try to minimize the use of these padded hangers as much as is possible because they take up a lot of room on the closet rod, and that really limits the capacity of a storage space in a closet. So I only have a few of those floating around in the closet. Another option that I used to use were these plastic hangers. These are the ones you see in a lot of different department stores. They're just the inexpensive plastic hangers that turn in a bunch of different ways. I don't use these in the closet anymore because my husband's a big and tall guy, and so being as tall as he is, his clothes are just heavier and the hangers used to break. I want all the hangers in the closet to match on his side and mine, so I ditched those and went with the wooden hangers. They're very solid, they don't break, but the thing with these hangers is they do take up a lot of space. Had I not found the little hanger clips to double hang a lot of my tops, I would have chosen these slim felt hangers. These keep anything from slipping off, which the wooden hangers don't have. They have these little pieces, but sometimes wider tops do slide off the sides, and I just use a little bit of double-sided tape right on the corners to kind of keep them on the hanger when I need to. As you can see, the wooden hanger is at least twice the width of the slimline hanger. So if you had a really tiny closet space, like the closet space I have on the boat is super, super tiny. I only use these real slimline hangers on the boat in the boat closet because the entire boat closet is about this wide, and that's it. So using these types of hangers in that type of space is really, really effective because it dramatically increases the number of pieces of clothing that I can hang up in a space while still keeping them nice and usable, and I can find everything I've got. So if you're working with a smaller space, or if you just want to fit more into a larger space, consider downsizing to these slim hangers because it makes a world of difference. The next item that I'm going to show you that has made my personal closet space so much more effective, and I think would work in a lot of different smaller closets and would really increase the hanging capacity in a larger closet, is to use vertical space as most effectively as possible. And this is how I use the vertical space in my closet. I have these pull down closet rods, and you just pull it down, do whatever you want, hang whatever you want on your closet rod, and then you just push it right back up. Because obviously I can't use this because I am 5'4" and that rod up there is right at about 7 feet. So clearly I can't reach this to use this as hanging space if I did not have this pull down option. And I have this in 2 different spaces in my closet. I have it here, and then I utilize it over here as well. That gives me the ability to use those spaces that are really, really high for hanging clothing items that I wouldn't be able to use otherwise because I can only reach so high, right? The last but certainly not least tip I have for you to make the very best use of your closet space, but also the most complicated tip, is to install some type of a closet system, such as this. This does take some planning and it does take somewhat of a budget to make it happen, but there are options at all different price points, and many are freestanding, which means you don't have to attach anything to the wall, and those are even perfectly fine in a rented space. The system I have and I use here is the IKEA PAX system. IKEA has a great, really effective online planning tool where you can simply input the dimensions of a space that you want to put a system in, and then you can plan it out right in their planning tool. As you're planning and adding different types of elements to your plan, it will keep a running tally for you and a parts list, if you will, of what you need to order and exactly how much it's going to cost as you go. I found this tool incredibly effective. It's exactly how I planned out this closet space for myself and my husband. The vanity table is not from IKEA, it's from Amazon. But as you can see, it fits absolutely perfectly in the space. It matches, I'm happy with it. I love sitting here to do my makeup on the days that I actually wear makeup. There are 2 things that I've added to my closet system that make planning my outfits and storing my clothing much simpler and much quicker, so I can get through it, especially when I'm packing, really, really conveniently. And the first of those items that I added was simply this ballet rod. These also came from Amazon, and I have 2. My husband has 1 here, and we use these all the time. Every single day we use these closet rods. The last thing that I've added to my storage space that has made it really convenient to keep organized and allow me to store as many items as possible in the space in an organized, clean way is these little drawer dividers. This is my athletic yoga wear drawer. And so it allows me to keep all of these smaller things folded and neat so I can just grab and go, because oftentimes I'm just almost straight out of bed, brush my teeth, wash my face, and off to yoga. So I needed a system that was going to be very simple for me to use. Those drawer dividers can be used in any drawer. I have them all over my house. In my junk drawer, in my tech drawer, like I use them everywhere. So if you're going to pick only 2 things from this video that were going to make the biggest difference in your closet space, I would absolutely go for these simple little hanger hooks, the expander hooks, and the shoe stacker, because they're at a lower price point, they're more easily accessible, and they are so incredibly effective in your space. If you, like me, want to keep more in your space from time to time, because there's nothing wrong with that, right? You don't have to have a minimalist wardrobe. You don't have to have a maximalist wardrobe. You can simply have a middleist wardrobe like I do. Regardless of the size of your storage space, it needs to function for you so you can get the very most out of it. If I could only choose 2 pieces to get the most out of my storage space, it would absolutely be the shoe stacker and the hanger clip. So effective. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes today in this video. It's been great having you here in my closet. If you'd like to hang out for a few minutes from time to time, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you want to. If you don't want to, don't worry about it. You don't need to subscribe. You can come back and hang out anytime you want because you've got an open invitation. If you have a few more minutes today, I'd love to see you in this video here. But if not, no worries. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.